false allegations, false allegations, false allegations, false allegations. Somebody going to jail. Somebody going to jail. Somebody going to jail. Somebody going to jail.
When I get on Demon Time, I get on Demon Time. When I get on Demon Time, I get on Demon Time. When I get on Demon Time, I get on Demon Time. When I get on Demon Time, I get on Demon Time. When I get on Demon Time, I get on Demon Time. When I get on Demon Time, I get on Demon Time. When I get on Demon Time, I get on Demon Time.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What up, y'all? How y'all doing? Okay, I saw somebody say it's 1 o'clock. Well, where I'm at, it's 12. But if you all got to go to bed, good night. This right here is literally, man, what? I don't even know where I want to start. Actually, I don't even want to start because now that does make me feel a little bad about the fact that it's so late. But let me see what this person said because I can't see the comment. They say Shelly Bell, right? Guess I need to get out of bed and go grab a drink. Well, first of all, thank you all for tuning in so late. But it is, my ass top, okay, no, it's fine. So anyway, we literally, unfortunately, are not able to talk about the situation that I wanted to bring up today. Well, we're working on it very, very, very fervently, but we are also preparing for what's going to be a large giveaway in the village of Dalton. What I just came on here to talk about is tomorrow. I came on here to talk about tomorrow. And I also came on here to tell y'all that after much prayer and reflection, I'm going to be approaching somebody who I want to be the co-host, or at least try it out for Investigate and Advocate. So I'm going to be approaching somebody and trying to see if we can broker some kind of a deal so that we can get a co-host. I'm so excited. Even when I think about it, I don't know much about the person. I don't know the person. I just know that I prayed and I asked God to make this thing make sense, make them visible. And so, y'all, we may have a co-host in the very near future. I'm going to approach this person and I'm going to see what happens. And it's almost like asking somebody on a date. It's nerve-wracking, right? But this is not something that's going to be limited to traditional spaces and means. I would love to make a difference in the world. There is life beyond the injustice of Dalton. We have to think about the future, especially for the sake of our partners, people who have invested in this. I don't take it lightly. And to make it even more clear, I am not trying to just enrich myself with stuff because that's not going to happen through these mediums. I'm looking at our trajectory, and so share the resource and help other people on when all ships rise with the tide. And the reason why I say that it is because it's important I think that it is important that we restore culture. We got a lot of stuff missing culturally. But somebody really, I, mean, I just been getting a lot of inspiration, right? Somebody hit me up and was like, look, dude, when you even when you giving out information, it's comical. You captivate the attention because you're charismatic, and literally the biggest demon in hell will believe that there's something special about you, anointed or whatever you want to call it. And so that was a huge compliment to me today, and that is what I'm going to continue to go with. I think that I used to be afraid of literally bringing God into the conversation in politics or in advocacy, but there is no way that a person like me could do it without it. But let me be clear here, and I'm gonna take a moment because it's on my mind. It just popped in my mind. Honeymoon, thank you so much, because I don't want to call it super chat. I want to call it thank you for your investment of confidence. I thank you for confidently investing into us being able to hopefully create something that you can be proud of. I don't take this stuff lightly. Thank you so much, Robert. Wow, Robert, for your $20 contribution of confidence. You guys are investors into this, and in that regard, I want to do I want to do you proud. So today, as a matter of fact, I want to pause. I got to pause because I want to talk about this. I don't have my producer, so I'm not even finna try to. I'm not gonna try to do all the production stuff. But oh my God, isn't it insane to see that for the first time in American history, George, that's love. For the first time in American history, a former president convicted. Oh God, convicted of a felony. Dang. If that doesn't send a message like that anybody can get it, and one moment you could be on top of the world and the next you could be under it. So we all need to be careful how we move. If that doesn't send a message, what the hell will? If I'm not mistaken, as a president, Donald Trump has commuted and pardoned more people than quite a bit of his predecessors. But I don't have that as a fact. I just have that as something that I was told. And I'm trying to figure it out. Like, does dude have the ability to pardon himself if he is elected? Can he still run for office? And then it's like, let's be honest. We gonna lose either way. I don't care what nobody say. I literally ignored my mother's calls because she is convinced that Donald Trump is no good for America as it relates to being elected. But I'm not particularly of the same opinion. I'm gonna tell you flat out. If he didn't say immunity for the police, I was gonna campaign for Donald Trump. And that's the one part that bothers me. Him being convicted of this is also interesting because it means that evidence was given to a jury and they found him guilty of bribing or paying off somebody to cover up a deed. But with that, I still don't totally get it. Like I have not been researching this. This is something going on in current events. And it's like, dang, I feel like I'm behind and lost in the sauce. But what I don't understand is it was illegal for him to use his money to pay off somebody to be quiet, and if and them choosing to do it, uh I don't get it. And then I think somebody said, well, he didn't report it. So what the hell was he supposed to report it as? Hush money? Hush money for a survivor. Now, it's not a light thing, right? It's not funny in the sense that it's having a violation involved. I just don't understand. But if a person is willing to take a payout for something that affected them, who am I to be crying or to be mad when obviously they are not? Period. I know you didn't say you was going to vote for him. Felicia, don't crucify me. Let's talk about this. So I said, and this was not what I came on here for. God, I done went down a wrong track. I done messed up at 12 o'clock midnight. Ain't no way y'all finna let me not go here. Okay. Yes. But you got to look at my history, and I'm explaining to you from a personal perspective, and then I'm going to explain to you from a political perspective. I worked to get Barack Obama elected. I also worked to get Bernie Sanders elected. My entire life, I've been a Democrat by birth, not by education. I've been Democrat because that is always what my family has done. But it's really hard to get people to understand this. They're dealing with nothing but Democrat mayors in Chicago, one of America's third largest cities, obviously known as one of the most corrupt in the nation and one of the most violent in the nation. I've only dealt with Democrat mayors. I've only dealt with Democrat systems. Fighting in Dalton has reminded me how hard it is to get the Democrat machine to hold itself accountable. But when I jumped on Donald Trump's stage, y'all, I was a full-fledged supporter of Bernie Sanders. 100% in the campaign, in the mud. So, two things that stood out to me. Number one, when Bernie Sanders, when I jumped on Donald Trump's stage, it created a big uproar, rightfully so. I had other presidents, prime ministers from other countries. I had a queen, y'all. If I'm lying, I'm flying, as they said. Literally offer me asylum. That is crazy, right? I will never forget the Prime Minister of Canada letting me know that I can get citizenship in Canada. Everybody was so scared of Donald Trump and what his presidency would look like. When that image went across the world, your phone included, everybody was saying, we got to protect this man. This is one of the first rallies that Donald Trump had been, stopped. His campaign had been stopped. I got fired from my job I had at the time, and I was receiving hella death threats. So when I would then go to a Bernie Sanders rally, it literally, I think it was the same week or so, Bernie Sanders made me stay in the back. I was originally supposed to come on stage with them. They made me stay in the back. They did not pay me. They did not put me up to doing it. But when they saw it, they said, no, we need you to stay in the back because we don't want it to look like you were ordered to do this by us. And it offended me because I'm like, we in younger, obviously, I'm like, we were squad. When I was standing up to everybody else, ain't nobody in this y'all had a problem with it. Y'all knew who I was when y'all came to me asking me to help y'all get elected in Chicago. So I was mad because I was like, okay, cowards, and we ain't gotta go too deep into that. This is my point. Donald Trump eventually won. 2016 was the campaign. This man won despite our greatest efforts. Omarosa was Donald Trump's community engagement or something for Black people. They were inviting me to the White House so that I could get an understanding. At this point, he won, inviting me to the White House so that he can let us know he's not racist and that he did not want to destroy Black lives. And I was like, what? But I was too afraid at the time to say, well, Donald Trump's trying to connect with me and they're trying to give me an understanding of who he is according to them. But I didn't want to be a sellout. I didn't want to be, oh, he got a job. I didn't want to be, oh, he did one thing and then he didn't care. And it was like, I'll just leave it alone. I rejected it. And so that was a job, a bag, an opportunity, a meeting. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Anyway, he would become president and opportunity zones benefited me as a businessman. They specifically put money in blighted areas for people who had businesses in them. Benefited from that tremendously. The commuting and the releasing of people who were incarcerated. Obama literally I protested Obama in front of his house in Chicago. I am one of the only people in Chicago that the Secret Service, y'all hear what I'm saying? This is their words, had to sit down with and have a conversation with because we were that effective. And we literally had the Secret Service literally in all of our stuff. And I did a die-in in front of Obama's house. We did a protest up to his house, and I was saying, end the war on Black lives. But for the entire time that he was elected, they were saying, well, he has an uncooperative Congress. I said, he's the president of the United States, and the whole world is moved by anything he says. All he got to do is talk about Chicago, and we will get the attention, the aid, the resources that we need from the private sector to make a difference here. That's around the time when I met Michael Collier. That's around the time when he called all these huge celebrities, including Snoop Dogg, to make this project that I was a part of to get resources for the streets. There goes some history for you. But what is my point and why is all of this in this conversation? Once again, I can keep on proving I ain't just pop up yesterday out of nowhere. But it blew me away because Obama wouldn't even talk about Chicago. And then here come Donald Trump. He gets to become president, and he's talking about Chicago in every other speech. And I'm like, he didn't need Congress permission to do that. Somebody said, that's not true. Well, you're not coming on live tonight because I don't even know who you are. You got a blank page, and you might try to come on and get me struck. No, thank you. So, is Donald Trump a racist? I don't know. I don't particularly care. Do I think that his policies would have hurt me? I think that he's put conservative judges in place. Now, hear this from a man who identified as bisexual. I might lose some of y'all right here, but this is just the honest truth. I think that some of the LGBTQIA plus communities fight is overkill. Sorry, I do. There's some things that I just simply personally as a person don't agree with. I don't agree with co-ed bathrooms. I like the fact of not having to be in that space because that is also with women a sacred space. That's where they have the most critical girl conversations. Let them keep their privacy. I don't agree with there are things that they need to do that I don't want to be around. Come in the bathroom and see tampons on the damn wall. Not what I wanted to talk about today. They say gay marriage. I think marriage is a religious sacrament and it should be protected. I don't have a problem with, and I mean, maybe it could be a play on words, but personally, I don't have a problem with a civil union. And that's basically a blessing from the state that if people decide to be in a relationship and be in love, that they have protections like insurance and decisions as it relates to final moments, etc., etc., etc. But marriage is something that is actually outlined in the Bible. And if people don't ascribe to God or they don't ascribe to the Bible, let the Bible and God have their what they want to have their space. I don't need to be. Yeah, this conversation we ain't ready for. We're not ready for this conversation. Civil union, fine. Same gender marriage. Overkill, in my opinion. But again, I told y'all I'm an honorary member, and I just got a very strong set of values and beliefs, and so and I'm genuine with who I am. So what is my point? My point is now rolling back voting rights. I don't agree with. Um, I don't agree with trying to determine what a woman does with her body. I don't agree with that. But let me put that in context. Would you stop? He is going crazy. Let me tell you what I let me tell you what I let me tell you what I feel about abortion. I think that slow down, Franklin. If your start zip don't start with 606, you're not Chicago. Immigration might be enough for uh but you plan on voting for it. So I don't know. I wasn't following the comments. I don't know where that came up at, but listen to what I'm saying. Immigration definitely something that I'm very focused on. I do not like the vulnerability of the borders. I've seen how it has impacted my city in Chicago. I appreciate how my governor here in Texas have stood up to illegal immigration, and our state is not being overrun with things that it shouldn't be. You feel me? Um, Lord have mercy. But abortion, this is my personal take on abortion. I think that there are people who I think there are people who have a lot of unfortunate situations that they may find themselves in. I personally don't support or think that I don't support the theory that God makes mistakes. However, I think that that is an individual walk. And as it relates to the government, I believe that there should be resources allocated to subsidize or cover medical expenses. And that should be a medical expense and a choice that a person has. And I think that our government should let them handle that between them and God and help people mentally, emotionally, financially, and back them up because that could not ever be an easy decision for anybody, including people who are having consensual sex and just feel like they're not ready for children. I don't agree with the government thinking that it has the right to determine what a person does with their body. That is the wrong kind of government. That is the kind of government that takes us into dictatorship and tyranny. I don't support it. So it is a line. And what is my theory here? We got to jump off of all the plantations. If you don't want a baby, stop fucking. Sean, that is such a insensitive thing to say when there are people who have been raped. There's incest. There are people who didn't plan to have a baby and can't afford it. There are people who are not well and they need to abort their babies because that's what they feel is in the best interest of survival. There's a ton of reasons why people uh, consider those types of things. And then on top of that, to tell somebody to stop fucking, that just ain't our place. So then what would you then say to people who have the ability to procreate? Just everybody become same gender loving? Because us telling people to not bust a nut is dumb. Literally, what kind of world would we have like that? They said the world would be born if we were all the same. Did you know what the world would be like if people couldn't get their rocks off? Oh my God, the stress levels. So, no. So anyway, get off the plantation. I am neither Democrat nor Republican. I'm a free, independent thinking American. And I'm going to vote in every election based on the content of the character of the person as it is exposed. And I'm going to go to whatever party I feel best meets, or I'll vote for whatever person in whatever party best meets the values that align to me. And that I nor anybody else should be attacked for choosing to support somebody politically because we don't know what they're ultimately going to do when they're in office. But all of us have a responsibility to do our part to see what people are saying and what they're about and let this great democracy thrive by considering everybody brave enough to put their name in the ring. Simple as that. Libertarian, independent, Republican, Democrat. But I know one thing for a fact. We just voting Democrat, that should be over because that party has taken us for granted. And the Republicans don't even understand us quite well. But I'll give you a great example. One man stood on that notion of not being sold to a plantation political mind. He is now building a multi-million-dollar community center on the south side of Chicago, and there's not one Democrat that have helped him get there. They thought they killed him, and that man utilized the fact that he is on an island and he's building something absolutely amazing. So absolutely never vote a Democrat again. I don't think that that's the answer either. So maybe not Trump. You lose me, man. Bye. He's a racist. If I lost you because of that, I never had you, Franklin. Have a good night. This is not the time to make a point. And so there are so many people who are living in such fear about what he'll do. He'll make this a dictatorship. He'll do this and do that and do this and do that. I just don't know. I can't, that's my life wasn't worse when he was the president the first time. I'm sorry. He did some things that I didn't like, but what president hasn't? Has Barack Obama killed Gaddafi? Well, look at the history that came out of that. But okay. Mary says, I'm voting blue down the ticket. But anyway, I don't even know if Trump can be the president. I'm lost. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, somebody told me to read Project 2025. Your abortion, let me see this. Your abortion reasoning on that guy and his insensitivity is exactly what you needed to tell him. Do you want to continue to have your democracy? I don't support big government. That supposedly is not a democratic value. They believe in welfare programs. I hate welfare programs that does not create upward mobility. Don't give me enough money just so I can have to come back and depend on you to do that again for me next month. Give us stimulation in the economy. Give us more opportunities to become business owners. Give us more resources in blighted and underserved communities. If y'all can find billions of dollars for Ukraine, then y'all need to find at least $1 billion. Y'all can find reparations. Let people become business owners and you know what? Let somebody talk like that. I don't give a what they doing. I don't like I don't like big government because it means that you have to be dependent upon the said government. And I know people who are literally inheriting welfare. That is a failed system. Okay, you got the voucher, and this is the house that your mom had. They were on welfare. I don't want that house. I don't own that unless I'm buying it and I don't want to be living there and stuck there. It's not what I want. When I became an advocate, one of the things that I am very proud to say is uh, I would not get a link card the days when I didn't have money because I felt like God told me not to do it. You said Tao was mentally unfit to be mayor, right? Does that apply to Orange? Oh, good question. Um, so if this man is convicted of corruption, right, then that means that I would need to judge it with the same litness. All I'm telling you guys is when I was under his presidency, I feel like our borders was more secure. I feel like other countries respected us more because he was a very big unknown factor of what he was capable of doing. I did see that he took an affinity towards dictators, and that is problematic. He commuted more people. He commuted people. He pardoned people. Um, he gave economic opportunities in places that didn't have it. Um, yeah, I don't know. How did the broader affect you? Anyway, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna stay there. I'm gonna move forward. I came on here tonight because tomorrow, as you all know, I want you guys to remember, and I was basically watching today. I see that there were a few, but not many people talked about tomorrow as it relates to how to address it. He did not secure the border. He proposed a way to secure the border and made friends with the enemy, and that's why they didn't attack. Okay? Well, that is the perspective of the infamous PLZ, and I am not going to debate about it because I'm not equipped for that. I don't mind saying I don't totally know. This is my understanding, but I didn't really pay attention to it. And I guess that's a shame on me, right? But one of the things I will say, and I think that again, I might sound biased. You cannot tell me that one of the greatest architects or one of the biggest architects of the crime bill or the war on drugs did not come from the president that's sitting in our face right now. When did he start loving black people? When he literally pressed for the legislation that incarcerated majority of our fathers and our brothers. And I cannot say that the woman that is currently the vice president did not press and advocate for the three strike law that also incarcerated tremendous amounts of African Americans, including my own biological brother, who violated the three strike law and had to stay in prison. And so I don't know. I don't know. But now, obviously, everybody is. You know what? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not even gonna act like I know. And I think we all could do a better job of paying attention to politics. But I'm supposed to just believe that I should be scared because, okay, whatever. I'll leave that alone. I'll go right back to it. And did they pass the cocaine at the White House? Did they ever find out who they belonged to? Did they ever find out who the cocaine belonged to at the White House? I just really want to know. Um, but right now, let me say this. I don't require everybody to vote the way I vote. And I'm gonna do it even more solid. I'm gonna watch the dang on campaigns and I'm gonna vote for who I think spoke to me the most. I am afraid to vote for Donald Trump, specifically for the fact of police immunity. I am afraid to vote for Joe Biden because I have watched everybody that have come out of Obama, including him, smile in our face and in somewhat regard leave us hanging. Everybody was like, well, he gonna do it in the second term. Second term came, we got worse than we got on the first term. And then after that, they was like, he gonna do it as a private citizen. He can't do too much as a president. And then what now? He gave us a great movie, but what has he done post presidency that y'all was waiting on to come from this great first president, Kenyan descent and color? We didn't get it. And I am not confused about that because I was around. I was a part of it. We didn't get it. So I think politics is personal. Let me say that. Politics is personal. And that's why Tiffany Henyard absolutely has a chance of being reelected. Because if she don't do nothing else, she is going to throw events and give away stuff. I want to cuss. She gonna give stuff away. And she gonna throw hella events. What y'all can't say is that she ain't, and what we can't say is that she is not fun for her supporters and beneficial for her supporters. That she is. Is it lawful? The jury is still out. But politics is personal. And if people getting washing machines and dryers and TVs, they ain't always paying attention to the fact that they're getting an increased taxes because most people don't even pay attention for real. Now tell me why I just lied. She has an opportunity to be reelected, and that's why the ground game of who all the challengers are, whoever they may be, better be solid. Now, again, tomorrow, fun but not financially sound. Absolutely. And let's be clear. I think that the fund is going to cost them for generations if they don't get out that mustard and catch up. So tomorrow they have a meeting at 1:30 in Chicago. I am here in Texas. I don't even know who's going to live stream it. I hope that it's live streamed. I have not been able to connect with anybody who have committed to going to the meeting. And so on my end, it is alarming because it appears that if her goal was for low turnout, that she may get it at least from those people who oppose her. And what I don't know how beneficial it would be. I'm again, and y'all got to think about this. I'm learning too, however, but I don't know how beneficial it will be to show up, provided that the law that we've uncovered that is being put into place um, will undo it, right? But it really does bother me that there is no clear, organized effort or clear communication to make sure that tomorrow she doesn't get the pressure that she needs to continue to have. And that pressure is not so that she doesn't govern because she's in the seat and there are responsibilities. But I think that people need to make sure that she knows that there is no place of rest because people are still not satisfied with what's going on. So, um, and this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. This is why I can't spend my time in worthless beef because these people aren't organizing anything or putting anything together to address this. And again, going to this meeting to film it is not hard. Making sure that the administration feels the pressure while people wait for the Justice Department to do whatever they're going to do is a whole nother avenue. And so right now, as y'all might not have known, Monkey's are ticklish. Ticklish. He's being tickled. I'm tickling him. And that's him laughing. He's laughing. Oh. And then he'll get, you what? You what? You what? They're ticklish. Their feet is ticklish. Monkeys are ticklish. So if you tickle their feet, they're ticklish. And could y'all hear him laughing? Did y'all hear him laughing? Did y'all wait? Did y'all? I don't know. Let me see if they can hear it. That's him laughing. Okay. So tomorrow, 1:30 on Friday, there's going to be a meeting where they're going to take up the vote again. So basically, I think that part of this had to be, in my mind, if it's true that Carmen Carlisle, if it's true that she defected, she had to spend time convincing Carla to do it. But this is the so let's do this together, and then I'm going to get off of here. What are the reasons? What are the reasons? Let's see. Let's go. Let's have a lesson right now. Come on, class. What are the reasons why she should not be getting a raise? What are the reasons she should not be getting a raise? Does anybody know? Because fact, Thornton Township has gotten an award for being fiscally responsive and accountable by some organization, government-wise. She makes you much already. Who gets a 40% raise and wants to stop her from coming back to another 40% next year? She lacks credibility. because she ain't shit. She don't deserve it. So far, ladies and gentlemen, we have opinion. Let's go. Let's get to this. Why doesn't she deserve a raise? RJ Hope says she's misappropriated money. What money has she misappropriated? She does not deserve it, and also it is more than the soldiers. She doesn't deserve. Bam. I like that one. She's marrying funds from both positions because, as reported in the news, getting a raise is really, 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 really suspicious when she have taken township money to do Dalton business. And we need to know about her returning that money before she is considered to be given more money that may also be misappropriated. I like that. So there go one. So if you're going there tomorrow, that's one point. Number two, Gopher said she is not transparent with spending. Come on, class. I'm sorry, Kyra. I mean scary. She's not transparent. People in the public. Now there was a budget. There have been budgets that have been given. There have been reports that have been given by Robert Hunt from the township. So when you say she's not transparent, unpack that a little more. You're not wrong, but go deeper. Come on. She's using taxpayers' money to fund a charity. Well, she couldn't pay herself that money unless it was Cairo. Move, baby. You gotta stop. You gotta stop, okay? You gotta stop. Okay? You gotta stop. You can't jump on the computer, okay? 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 Love you. But you gotta stop. You ain't listening. Nope. You already know. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Don't move. Okay. Sorry. $10,000 given to a charity. That was money that was voted on upon. Stay there. ADHD. He ain't gonna be able to do it. Watch. So you've been a good boy. Good boy, Cairo. All right. Golly, Cairo, you messed up my trick. Stay there. Stay there. Lay down. Hey. You okay? More spending on security than a project she paid. Okay. Both communities are in serious deficits. So one of the things, and I thank you so much for putting that. I did not tell you no, don't climb up here. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You're being bad. You're being bad. Stop it. Stay there. Stay there. He said, I'll just go to sleep at this point. Okay, so see, and y'all want a monkey? They listen for about 5 minutes, but they're not going to listen that long. Don't tap our nephew like that. Well, that's his whooping. You got to give him a whooping. He's still not listening. Okay, watch his face. You being bad. You being bad. You being bad. Somebody say, let them know I don't. A lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's like having a bad kid. I'm really sorry because I'm trying to stay focused, but he ain't letting me. Um, both communities are in serious deficit. I think that one of the things that really messed up Tiffany with all of the tension is that it stopped what would have been a bailout from the state. So the state was going to give her $6 million for both, if I'm not mistaken. And because of all of the things that have been going on, they started to talk about accountability and said that she wasn't going to get the money until she released the receipts. But she put that money in the budget as if it was already um, given to them. And so when Kiana Belcher would ask, did you get the money? As you all saw, you never got an answer. That was the answer. No, because if they had the money, she literally would have been touting that and throwing it in the face of everybody. But they didn't get the money. They don't have the money. And so that is literally a good budget if they were getting the money, but it is a gross misrepresentation because they don't have it. I do believe that Tiffany Henyard wasn't used to this kind of wealth that she has siphoned out of the community. That's just my personal opinion. And I feel like she splurged and spent a lot more money than she probably had. And so now she's trying to re up and get as much money as possible for potential legal battles. And so that's one of the reasons why I think that this raise is happening. I think that I'm coming tomorrow. Hope to meet you. Oh, that's amazing, Jay Jones. Well, I'm in Texas. So uh I'm in Texas, but I think that and then good old Paul, I don't know if y'all saw it, but good old Paul then uncovered one of the things that's being or that they're attempting to do in this, and they are trying to buy another food truck. But her food truck business, Good Burger, has failed. Where's the food truck at? Why they need to buy another food truck when she already got a food truck? What y'all know about that? What y'all think about that? Why are they trying to buy a whole new food truck when she already got a food truck? Here goes something I want you all to know. Nah, never mind. We'll talk about that later. But why buy another food truck? So the problem with this administration is that they literally see everything as an opportunity for them to enrich themselves. If she got an ice rink, it's her ice rink, skating rink. Y'all can use it when she's throwing events. They're gonna get a food truck. They'll park it out there. They'll sell food. You'll pay. They'll benefit from it financially. They'll get property. They sell. They get property cheap. They sell it at a higher rate. They get every business deal they do through the village. There's consulting fees or any inspection that they pass. They're asking for kickbacks, or anybody that's doing business in there have to be a contributor to the campaign. When I tell you that these people have made running illegal operations through the village, every single aspect of her governance has been to enrich herself. And the crazy part about it is where'd you get that from? They have they have they have run operations through the community and uh only surrounding themselves with people who were loyal to their style of politics. Yours truly, Jessica. And I don't even know what I was finna say because this guy is so hard to have among. Ain't no way all of those cars were about to get repoed. Right. And then she only does things for people who benefit her. The police department got their contract, um they got their back pay. The fire department doesn't have a contract. They haven't gotten their back pay. And literally, it's just so much I can go into. And it's really sad and unfortunate. Thank you for all of those who have hit the like button or hit the share button. 311 people on the live at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in some parts is absolutely insane. I'm gonna get off of here because I would not want to be in the way of you all getting up and being at that meeting tomorrow if you was even planning on going there. I come on here right now to make a plea to you all to consider making the sacrifice of putting the pressure on this administration by showing up to this meeting. This meeting is going to affect your life one way or another. History will show the meetings where y'all came strong, but history will unfortunately also show the meetings where you didn't stand up and make sacrifices for. I think that this administration needs to understand, even while the FBI is in town, they need to understand that there is no plan, no scheme, no section, no opportunity, or nothing that they could ever do moving forward where they will not be met with residents who want better and what they demand and what they deserve. Simple as that. I think you all, and if you can, encourage your family members. If you can't go, send somebody. But tomorrow at 1 o'clock is a short meeting day. Why? I believe, and now I firmly, and this is what I also think you should do, because we didn't get to have a full dialogue because I'm totally distracted. But I think that you all should make it clear to the trustees that if you want life, or whatever they are, council people or the people who sit on the board of the township, if you want to think about a career in politics beyond this moment, understand you will be judged by how you vote. When you think about all of the things that are being said, when you think about all the expressions that are being made, when you think about where you're trying to go, you will be judged by your vote. Now, if this is the end of the road for you, then do whatever. But history will always tell the story about how you could have stood up and you didn't. That means that if anybody that's connected to you ever aspire to run, they'll run into this history. Does that make sense? I think that that's the approach that I would take. I would let the trustees know we got our eyes on you. And if you are too afraid to stand up to this administration, then maybe we need to open up our eyes a little wider and figure out why is it that you all would rubber stamp this administration. I hope that made sense and added value to your life. You guys, pray that I'm led, but I've identified somebody that I'm hopeful, so I want to build that anticipation now, that I'm hopeful will accept an offer or a deal with me to come on here as our co-host for Investigate and Advocate. So to all of our partners, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this and collaborating. If you are a partner if you are a partner, I'm going to, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do it right now. Partners are individuals on YouTube who have okay, so I told y'all I'm not gonna be dressed and stuff, but literally somebody just sent to me saying that I'm being accused of stealing from Hell Week. So they're gonna really try to run this whole stealing narrative. This is once again. Okay, I'm just I just. Oh Lord have mercy. So yeah, that's what's being told to me right now, that it is being said that I stole from Hell Week. The week that they said failed, but now I've stole from Hell Week. This is these these people aren't gonna stop. They're not gonna stop. Um, and I can't even like I'm this bad, huh? Like I can't do no good. Like there's nothing. Well, you know what? We know what we do. Fight back. No, I just can't. I can't. I really wish that I didn't. I really even wish that said they didn't even just send me that. But now I stole from Hell Week. Like golly, it's like it's like it's like come out already. Come out. Just come out. You either closeted or you really it's crazy. I don't know. I can't. There is nothing to say. What's Hell Week? Hell Week is a week that we put on in the village of Dalton to not only raise awareness to issues, but to bring people together in defiance to the administration, thinking that they would not want people to assemble or come together or have these freedoms. It's something that we organized and put on. It was quite beautiful, no matter what size the crowds were. Uh, but it's so crazy, right? Because a moment ago I was stealing from Hannibal, and now I'm stealing from Hell Week. And it's not worth it. So I just got the message. It's not worth it, but it's like I just really want. And then what did I say earlier? We all can work together. We can all move forward. That's why y'all got to understand this whole narrative of who I'm attacking and what I'm on. I'm not on any of that. I said let's go ahead and let's move forward, and let's not do this bull crap. Let's just be on different sides. The city is the issue is big enough for all of us to be of help. But what are they doing on here now? Now they're trying to say I stole from Hell Week, and I like that you bring the community together. It's a powerful thing, and it's not an easy thing. And because I read that in real time on live, and it's there, I want to say that they're stealing from the ignorant. They're stealing from people playing on their ignorances, um, and it is so distasteful and it's so unfortunate. People are over there, I think, sending them resources just so that they could be resourced to make a mess. I'm not making a mess. And it is so weird to me. Like, it's just weird. And then they selling t-shirts. He's stealing from y'all. Make sure you get a t-shirt. No, 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 no. You all did not bother me and make me upset. I just find it to be unconscionable. It's not something that I can explain. He gets views when you respond. And I think that that's okay. I'm not, responding. If they're watching it, they was going to watch it anyway, okay? But now you have a real time response and reaction to the literal ridiculousness. But there is nobody, right, that could say that I am doing this. There's nobody who could say I'm doing this. Thank you for explaining. You've been the hardest working person online trying to raise community. We literally, you would think that, and I'm pretty sure if you go look at the chat, people are saying what kind of devil I am, and it's the same 6 people, right? Might be about a good 100 or 200 people watching it. It's the same 6 people about talking about how much of I'm a devil, but it's so crazy because the power of what this could be. Right today, I was on live a little while ago. We were given $180. A young man comes on who've been defrauded by the administration. We gave him $100. I look back and there's $122 more. We're able to give him the rest, and then you have that young man on camera. I saw a thing for him saying, basically God worked it out. that should make us proud, right? That's what we should be doing. That's what we should be focusing on. I think that's what this is about. But they would then rather come and try to make up a narrative that something so beautiful, something so pure, and that benefit so many residents, and that people are very proud to have been a part of. That there would be any level of defrauding or theft, and it's like, what what in the hell? Um, but I'm not gonna dwell there. I'm not gonna park there. I'm gonna just say that this is what I'm looking for, and that is for the boy she got and his feelings hurt. That's why that boy, he talk about you now. Stop. Jedi use wisdom that God has given you, Jedi. They want you to feed into their bullshit, so they have something to talk about to fill their pockets and attract the drama. The thrives in attention. They're thriving on it. Queen, no and no. So yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to park there. It's just, it's weird as fuck. Okay, can we at least acknowledge that? It's weird as fuck. Okay, so you've made, literally, I have done 2-hour videos exposing what they own, and less than 10 minutes doing it made it make sense. And I don't need to do it anymore, because people can make their own judgment. But they're trying to drive, and this is a psychology thing, right? They try to drive it and drive it and drive it and drive it and wear people down. And the ultimate goal is to cause people to not want to participate. And that's what this is. But it is also because they can't come up with shit else. They're not going to do anything to help. And they can't come up with no information. They can't even focus to come on and encourage people to be at the meeting tomorrow. And one of them lying motherfuckers is calling themselves a resident. It's crazy to me. But they're victims, right? Moving forward. Give me 1 second. Okay. Uh if you are a member, if you are a partner, if you are a partner, I want you to go look at the post that I'm finna put up. And in the post is going to tell you who I want to become a co-host. While we're trying to get this person, I'm going to let y'all weigh in on if you agree with us doing that. If I get more no's than yeses, we won't. Partner. Okay, so Let's do that, and then let's have fun, and then I'm gonna get off of here. That's the last two things we're gonna do, and I'm gonna get off of here. Number one, who do you all think I'm going to approach to be a co-host on Investigate and Advocate? Let me see who you all think. Remember John 10:10. I don't trust any politician. I would vote for Cairo. Cairo, you got one vote for president of these United States of America. You hear that? Jessica, O'Shea, Dr. Nikita, Dr. Nikita again, Dr. Nikita again. Okay. Bobby Murr. Somebody said Bobby Murr. O'Shea or go political. Well, I don't know if O'Shea would do a show with me because he kind of big time. His numbers go to hell off. All of this is petty. People don't. All this is petty. People don't need nobody opinion about another person. We are grown, can formulate our own opinion. Shay talking about you is the least of Dalton's work. Yeah, Dalton isn't swayed, and I'm cool with it. Keep going, brother. I'm not tripping if you purchase a hamburger or two, long as you help the people. Thank you so much for even understanding that. You got one Grace Levy. I see Money Trey. Go political is Mitty's buddy. But the big timer started from the bottom. Money Trey. One person said Money Trey. Okay, so we're gonna see. That's what people say. Okay. Let me. Somebody said Trina Downs. So I don't have a clue. Yes, for a competent, inspirational based co-host, and that would be my second question. Somebody even said Mama Mary. Is there? Do you all think that there should be a co-host? Trey is a good one too. Nate the lawyer, one for Nate the lawyer. So does anybody think that there should be a like? Do you all think we should have one? Somebody said Paul. Okay. Trina is funny as hell to me because she got me. She cracked me real good. She said, "While you doing all that talking, you need to go get them sad teeth fixed." I was in the mirror like, "Dang." She said, "Yeah, go ahead and hit them sides. The frontals are all right, but hit them sides." I was like, and ooh, did you really? Why you sitting there trying to get a discount on your water bill? Fania, somebody said Fania. Jay, you have to be careful. Okay, y'all. So I don't think you need a co-host or no Trina. She just didn't pick up her meds that day. Sure did, Queen. You still have a beautiful smile. Thank you so much. It's a whole meal with a side. Okay, no, but a guest co-host every now and then won't be so bad. Chocolate drop. You're the best. If you smoking all day, then you're useless. That is absolutely insanity. Absolutely insanity, y'all. There, Jabbar is not being nosy. He's on some. Oh, this boy got company. Oh, well, first of all, there are several people in here right now, and Cairo just kind of acted up. He just threw a whole fit. Monkeys do also have mood swings, and monkeys will bite y'all. He will bite you, and they will go all over the place if you're trying to get them to do something that they don't want to do. And so, yeah, you need a street advocate. Cairo was going crazy. Um, on some people, and then somebody also had to help me come and grab them, and I had to tell them to put them in the bag. So the company is hilarious. There are people always around me. Just know that Cairo will get pinched. Now and then that's another thing. He will bite the hell out of you. Cairo bit me. I don't know if you can see. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. You know what? That was something else. That was something else, right? I just want to keep on, again, this is not because I want to entertain these people or give them credit, but I don't know if anybody remember them talking about me being supposedly fake stabbed or something like that. It doesn't matter. But y'all, you can't make up stuff like that, right? You can't make this stuff up. You see that scar? That fake stab scar? Anybody see that? There you go. They was like, oh, he wasn't stabbed. That was a bandage. I was listening like, what in the world? You're so dumb that they would literally try to say things that is so easily to be disproven. Their credibility is shit. There go your stab wound. There go your stab wound. Okay? There go your stab. So it's like why would you say somebody is lying about being stabbed as if they can't even just show the scar? Like, and why does that matter? And okay, so now, do I get an apology? Do I get an apology now? Because there go your stab wound. There go your stab. Do I get an apology? Do we come back and correct the misrepresentation of me? Say, so why were you out there late? I'm grown. It was for prostitutes and selling your body. I've never been charged with such a thing. Don't do that. Yeah. So no, you won't, Javon, because I won't be here. So with that being said, I hope I. Oh wait. We got to take questions. Golly, where did you post the co-host at, Jed? I posted it for our partners under YouTube. You have to be a partner of the show to see it. And that is for the people who are a $49.99 partner. This is the different levels. I told y'all about it. Because those are their partners because they've invested such a drastic amount into the production of this. So they're going to always know ahead of the time what is going on. They're going to get a little bit more information than everybody else. But you got advocating resource, organizing resource, partners, and then you got members and I think super chatters. And so people who have contributed on that level, they're going to help us determine the direction of the show and they're going to know what we're working on before everybody else because that's a hell of a contribution to trust somebody with. And it still ain't even paying me, y'all. And that's what I'm saying. Like people kiss my ass. I'm still doing that one time or monthly. That's a good question. Does anybody know the answer to that? Are those things monthly or are they one time? Why do you have to prove anything to the crazy? I don't. I'm just trying to be transparent. That's it. I'm not proving anything. Okay, it says monthly. So I guess if you gave $49.99 for the month, you'll see those statuses. And that's something that YouTube does. And I think it's funny because part of me is like, wait, that's so weird. But that's how it rocks. That's how it goes. But I'll give certain levels, I'll give all levels clues. So if you've done like a $10.99 or $20 super $19.99 super chat, I'll give you clues. I'll also give you guys input and heads up on things that's going on. Not to chuckle before you explained it because it's funny as hell. It's funny. Middies look scary to me. I wouldn't be on an elevator with them. I climbed 60 flights of stairs. And it wouldn't be because I would be scared. It would literally just be because I don't want to have to put no cologne at the tip of my nostrils because it just doesn't give good hygiene at all. It doesn't give good hygiene. It doesn't give getting pushy, as they say. I don't think that they're getting it like they claim. Yeah, anyway, not doing that. I keep y'all stink about time you get off. You'll stink about time you get off. Exactly. 1 hour and 18 minutes. And I've already feel like I've been on here too long. Linda as front row says, I'm joining as a partner. You would need a whole can of fix to be around them. I think that if I go get some booger sugar, maybe if I offered booger sugar, maybe that would be with what we need for a truce. So 5 questions. I'm done. Have you spoken to Hannibal during this debacle? And if so, what's his stance on everything? I've reached out to Hannibal, and I feel comfortable with the very, very, very brief dialogue that makes me comforted in knowing the role that he potentially played in the situation. If you wasn't doing something right, what would they talk about? His character is shot. I agree. So is there a y'all out? Is there another set of questions? Hold on. Yeah. As a matter of fact, as more people coming to this space I'm in, I think I'm gonna just get off of live because I got it's 1 o'clock. Yeah, as more people come in, I got to get ready for something that's going to be taking place in a little bit. So I'm finna get off of live. I hope that I've answered you all's questions adequately and effectively. And hope I said something that added value to your life. Y'all, please go to that meeting tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Thornton Township. What do you think about the video of Middies and Piggy? I didn't see that. I didn't see that one. I just became a member. Please answer. Queen, what do you think about Middies? I don't know what you're talking about. All right, y'all. You all have a phenomenal night. Cairo is acting up. When's she going to jail? It's a question that we all have. Love y'all. Roll my credits.